My name is Sierra Rosetta, and welcome back to the A-Push Constitutional Conversations. Today we are diving into the impact of the 13th Amendment on the evolving ideas of slavery in the United States from 1844 to 1877. Our thesis is that the 13th Amendment maintained continuity by how America continued to treat African Americans as inhumane and not actual citizens. It also fostered change by the way slaves gradually gained rights through the emancipation and abolition. We'll use 4 key sources to help guide us: a historian's view on Uncle Tom's Cabins, a quote from the Liberator, the Dred Scott decision, and a pro-slavery illustration. Let's jump in with our 2 guests, Aissata Sidibe and Kaitlin Vega.
Hi guys!
Hello.
Segment 1, Slavery Continuities and Justifications. Despite the 13th Amendment supposedly abolishing slavery, the South stuck to its justification for slavery and didn't budge when others challenged their way of life. They varied from moral to economic to political, demonstrating how Southerners viewed African Americans as a different species altogether, useful only for their gain. Now, for the explanation of pro-slavery illustration analysis, let's hear from Aissata Sidibe.
Okay. In Document 4, a pro-slavery illustration shows this continuity. It portrays enslaved individuals happily interacting with their enslavers, dressed well, and thanking them for their care. This narrative was commonly used and suggested that slavery was beneficial to both parties, reinforcing the Southern belief in a hierarchical society even after emancipation. It was clearly written from the perspective of someone who benefited from the institution of slavery, a white person who wanted to combat abolitionists. Another example of this continuity is the prevalence of sharecropping and black codes following the amendment's establishment. This was a legal loophole to continue the mistreatment and exploitation of former slaves and not allow the institution to die. Okay, in segment 4, legal continuities and challenges, the Dred Scott case.
But let's not forget that change was met with resistance. The Dred Scott decision of 1857 was a stark reminder of continuity in the legal system that upheld slavery and denied black people's rights.
This ruling reaffirmed the continuity of entrenched racial inequality. Though the 13th Amendment abolished slavery,
3.
the deep-seated legal framework supported racial discrimination persisted, showing how difficult it was to eradicate these ideas completely.
Segment Change in ideas about slavery. Now, let's shift to the changes in how slavery was perceived. The abolitionist movement centered in the North marked a major shift in the way slavery was perceived before and after the 13th Amendment. Slaves gradually gained rights through emancipation and abolition. Now, let's hear from Kaitlin Vega. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you. Okay. Document 3 is a secondary document detailing the benefits and significance of Harriet Beecher Stowe's Uncle Tom's Cabin on the abolitionist movement and spreading awareness on the brutality of the system. Prior to this, the North was a bystander to the institution, but now that they were aware of the horrors and inhumanity slaves faced, critiques against slavery turned moral. This document was written to analyze the effects of Uncle Tom's Cabin had on America and its eventual turn into the Civil War, spurred by its controversiality. The novel was a massive factor in the sectional tensions, with the South fighting back the words of abolishment with the book bans and pro-slavery propaganda. This shift in perception laid the groundwork for the 13th Amendment's passage. Segment 3, Moral and Religious Shifts in Anti-Slavery Sentiments. Another insanely popular anti-slavery book was The Liberator by William Lloyd Garrison. The rise of the popularity of abolitionists represents the way more and more people realized the wrongs of slavery and started fighting against it. The excerpt in this document speaks on how, in the eyes of God, all men are equal, regardless of skin color. Such arguments appeal to religious Northerners, intertwining abolition with Christian moral values. This change in thinking created a powerful, faith-driven call for the end of slavery, contrasting sharply with earlier justifications of slavery using biblical interpretations. This was written as a way to oppose slavery with religious justification, appealing to the religious in the abolition movement.
Conclusion: continuity versus change. So, did the 13th Amendment revolutionize ideas about slavery? Yes and no. It legally abolished slavery in America, which was respected in the North, but a continuity in racial hierarchies and pro-slavery ideologies remained strong, especially in the South. The period from 1844 to 1877 was one of profound change, but many continuities in the perception and treatment of African Americans that they endured. Thanks for joining us on today's A-Push Constitutional Conversations. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like today's video. See you guys in the next video when we talk about the loopholes and effects of the 14th Amendment. Bye.
Bye.